Did Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi help avert a nuclear war? Did he stop Russia from dropping a nuclear bomb on Ukraine? Did Prime Minister Modi help prevent what could have triggered a nuclear catastrophe? The answer is yes, and this has been revealed by American media. Let's just tell you what this is all about. An explosive report by CNN details what was kept under wraps for so long. Secret preparation for a nuclear war had started even as the deadly roller coaster of war threw all sides into the dangerous realms of uncertainty in the year 2022. America began preparations for a nuclear war. Officials were acting upon 1. Intelligence and 2. Analysis. Number 3. The developments. The story starts in the second half of 2022. Ukraine's counteroffensive was yielding results. Its troops were advancing towards Kherson. Russian units were in danger of virtual annihilation. In America, there was a fear that a possible bloodbath of Russian troops in Kherson could nudge Putin into pressing the nuclear button. Some officials in the US were convinced that Vladimir Putin would not view the fall of Kherson as just a battle lost in a long war. For Putin, Russia's loss of Kherson would be personal. He could possibly see it as a threat to the Russian state. You see, Russian nuclear doctrine is clear. The use of nuclear weapons is justified if enemy troops enter Russian territory and seem on victory roll. By logical extension, Russia can resort to the use of nuclear weapons if the existence of Russia is threatened. Would the fall of Kherson qualify as an extreme threat is the question. American officials were asking themselves this very question in late 2022, not too long after Putin and Biden's Geneva summit. There, the two leaders, remember, had reiterated the Gorbachev-Reagan statement, a nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought. But you see, things had rapidly changed since, and they changed for the worse, by the way. From Western leaders to nuclear experts, everyone was sitting up in their chairs and closely watching. Many a times, they were trying to double guess Russia's next big move. Some American officials, in fact, were also pointing at a possible false flag. In October 2022, Russia's defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, had made a series of phone calls. He had told defense officials in the United States, the UK, France, Turkey about the possibility that Ukraine could use a certain dirty bomb. A letter was also sent from Russia to the United Nations. It detailed basically the threat posed by this dirty bomb. It spoke about the possibility that Ukraine could detonate such a bomb against Russian forces and then blame the attack on the Kremlin. In America, the dirty bomb narrative was seen as a Russian pretext to launch a possible nuclear strike. You know, a false flag. What you had on ground in Washington was high tension. So then what did the US do? Tap India. Let me read out what the CNN report said. The US sought to enlist the help of non-allies, in particular India, to discourage Russia from such an attack. The report says the outreach and public statements by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi helped avert a crisis. Let me repeat that. The outreach and public statements by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi helped avert a crisis. In other words, Prime Minister Modi helped avert a possible nuclear war. Do you see America's tail tucked firmly between its legs? Because I do. And this is the same Biden administration that tried to basically force India to condemn Russia. It failed. It tried to arm twist India into taking a side in the Ukraine war, failed again. In the public, you see, the US was maintaining composure. On the 28th of February 2022, let me see that again. On the 28th of February 2022, US President Joe Biden was asked whether US citizens should be concerned about the start of a nuclear war. No, replied Biden. And the same day, Then White House press secretary said, and I'm quoting here, "At this time, we see no reason to change our nuclear alert levels." By March 2022, the U.S. had changed its tone. On the 25th of March, to be precise, the U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan had said, "The potential nuclear weapon use is something we do have to be concerned about." What was it doing about it? Secretly, the U.S. was relying on Indian diplomacy to avert a crisis. It was relying on Prime Minister Modi's rapport with Vladimir Putin to stop the potential use of nuclear weapons in Ukraine. This is yet another failure of the American diplomacy, also a big victory for Indian diplomacy, and above all, the diplomacy of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You see, from the very beginning of this war, Prime Minister Modi has been focusing on solutions, not politics. India has not been in support of villainizing or alienating either parties. Instead, it has been pushing for dialogue. It has been pushing for peace. Days after returning from his state visit in the US, Prime Minister Modi dialed Putin. He called for dialogue and diplomacy to end the war. When the last leader of the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev, was accepting his 1991 Nobel Prize, he said, and I'm quoting, "The risk of global nuclear war has practically disappeared." The Ukraine war proved otherwise. In the last 2 years, we've seen the nuclear word being thrown around. Rather, February 24, 2022, that was the day it all really started. And that day, Russia invaded Ukraine. In April 2022, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said, "We should not wait for the moment when Russia decides to use nuclear weapons. We must prepare for that." But who, amidst all this escalation, is preparing for peace? The West is busy arming and rearming Ukraine. It is setting the stage for a prolonged war. Countries are modernizing their military, preparing for a possible World War III. Weapon companies are the happiest. Their sales are skyrocketing. And amid all of this, India is trying to talk peace. Since this story about Prime Minister Modi's role in the dousing of the fire of a possible nuclear war was broken by the US media, I'll end with something that the Indian Prime Minister had told a US daily with regard to the Ukraine war during his state visit to the US. "Some people say that we are neutral, but we are not neutral. We are on the side of peace." The Nehru-Gandhi family of India is one of the most prominent political dynasties anywhere in the world, and equally deep-rooted and well-known as their social and political association with the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Generations of the family fought and won elections from the state of UP. Many Gandhis have won Lok Sabha elections for the Congress from the state of Uttar Pradesh, and they have done it for the ruling BJP as well. And coming to the Congress, the Nehru-Gandhi family's name has always been associated with the names of seats like Phulpur, Raebareli, Amethi. These are constituencies that have elected Jawaharlal Nehru and his daughter Indira Gandhi right since independence. Of note is the constituency of Amethi that was won by Indira Gandhi's son Rajiv Gandhi in the year 1981. Since 2004, the seat of Amethi has been contested by the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi first won Amethi in 2004. He was re-elected to the seat in 2009. Winning from Amethi seemed a done deal for the Gandhis and the Congress party. But it was in the 2014 general election that the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi got their first jolt. 2014 was the year his opponent Smriti Irani from the BJP gave Rahul a tough fight. Smriti Irani lost that battle, but with a much thinner margin than when Rahul Gandhi defeated his opponents in previous years. After the 2014 loss, Smriti Irani campaigned hard to come back. And come back she did, giving a huge shock to the Nehru-Gandhi family by winning the seat in the state of Uttar Pradesh that had favored the family for over 3 decades. The Amethi defeat unnerved the Congress party so much that despite all the talk of Rahul Gandhi needing to take on Smriti Irani in a rematch in Amethi, the party has not yet been able to take a decision on the matter. And the same is the case, by the way, with Raebareli in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Since 1951, the Congress has lost the seat in only 3 Lok Sabha elections. Former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi won here 3 times, her husband and Congress leader twice, so have other members of the family. Former Congress President Sonia Gandhi held the seat for 4 terms in a row. But before the upcoming 2024 election, Sonia vacated the seat to get elected to the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the Indian Parliament. And it is widely speculated that her daughter Priyanka Gandhi will contest the seat. But all signs are that the party is losing its hold on the seat. In the 2022 Uttar Pradesh Assembly polls, the Congress lost in all the 5 assembly segments in the Raebareli constituency. Not only that, it ended up coming 3rd in 4 assembly constituencies, which, by the way, indicates how tough it will be for Priyanka Gandhi if she contests from the seat. Let's just consider the case of the other Gandhis who found comfort under the ruling BJP's umbrella. Apparently, they are faring no better. Menaka Gandhi, the sister-in-law of Sonia Gandhi, joined the BJP in the year 2004. And since then, she has delivered wins from the constituency in Uttar Pradesh to the BJP. The BJP, in fact, gave her son Varun Gandhi the Sultanpur seat in Uttar Pradesh. But so far, for the upcoming 2024 election, there is uncertainty for both the mother and the son. The BJP's first list of 51 candidates from the electorally crucial Uttar Pradesh state does not include the 2 seats. The question is, are we witnessing the era of decline of the Gandhis in the state of Uttar Pradesh? What is the best way to seek revenge from your ex if you want to do that? Going on a vacation? Excelling in your career? Finding someone better perhaps? How about defeating them in an election? Surely that would not have come to your mind. But for this couple, rather ex-couple in India, it's showtime. The estranged duo is taking the fight all the way to the polls. The two will be facing off in the Lok Sabha or lower house election in Bengal. Meet the ex-husband. His name is Soumitra Khan. He is a Bharatiya Janata Party candidate. He is fighting for the Bishnupur seat of Bankura district in Bengal. Today, the ruling Trinamool Congress announced its candidates. And guess what? It has brought in Soumitra Khan's ex-wife, Sujata Mondal. She will be fighting for the same seat as her ex-husband. It is an all-out family drama, and I haven't even told you the half of it yet. Guess why these two split up? From what reports are saying, it was again politics. Their jobs became a wedge between the two. It was a question of loyalty, not to each other, but to their parties. You see, Soumitra Khan was earlier a member of the Trinamool Congress. He won the seat in Bishnupur back in 2014 on a Trinamool ticket. And 2 years later, he got married to Sujata. All was well and good. In the year 2019, Soumitra once again contested in the elections, but this time he had switched sides. He swore allegiance to the BJP. Nonetheless, he won his seat, and who helped him? His beloved wife, Sujata. Soumitra Khan did not hesitate from giving her the credit, by the way. He attributed his electoral success to Sujata for her hard work in campaigning for her husband. But you see, as time went by, Sujata developed ambitions of her own. She also decided to be a politician. But there was one hiccup. Her husband did not approve. In the year 2021, Sujata decided to pursue her dreams anyway. She decided to contest in the assembly election in the state on a Trinamool ticket. This did not sit right with Soumitra. So what did he do? Something very dramatic. He ended the relationship, and he did it on television. For Sujata, it was a double hit. She lost her husband, and weeks later, she lost to a BJP candidate in the polls. The couple never got back together, and now it seems things are only going to get all the more heated. Soumitra has dismissed the contest. He says that Sujata does not have enough experience as a politician. He is in fact upset over the importance being given to his ex-wife. And as for Sujata, she says her opponent has not done a thing in the last 10 years and that she will not spare him in the fight. You see, it's a battle of exes and it's only getting fierce. If there is one takeaway from all of this, it is don't bring politics into your marriage or your marriage into politics. As for breaking up with your spouse on television, I'm sure you already know better.